Right off the bat, guys, I want to apologize to you guys for the little bit of a wonky lighting. Hotels only give you so much, so you got to try and work with it that way. But here we are, and we're going to talk about the Raptors getting their 4th victory on the year. 4-0 on the young season for the Toronto Raptors. Now, I know. It's 4 games into the year, and I know it really doesn't mean anything because we know we're going to get into the playoffs in either the 1, 2, 3, maybe in 4th seed, but I mean, we're not even going to get to that point. However, with a new team and some new faces and some and losing your franchise player in DeMar DeRozan, we didn't know we didn't know what we were going to see here early in the season. We had no idea what we were going to get. We had some idea that we were going to be good. We didn't realize playing Boston then Washington on a back-to-back, home and then the road, how this was going to go. But we have seen that this team, no matter who's in the lineup, no matter who's getting what minutes, every guy steps up and makes plays. Earlier in the year, guys, we were talking, even in preseason, we were talking about the assist numbers being a little bit lower, and we're like, well, with the chemistry of DeMar DeRozan gone, is that really going to hinder this team in the ball movement? And are they going to be a lot more stagnant shots, or is it going to be a lot of ball movement? I didn't know what to expect. And early on in the first game or two, they were down a little bit, just a shade over 20 assists a game, which isn't bad, but it's not what we're used to seeing, right? And then the Raptors come out today, having had a few days, or I think they played Saturday, so they had a couple days off. Today's Monday, and they had one day off. But Kawhi Leonard obviously back in the lineup today, doesn't miss a beat, and this team fires up 36 assists on the game. 36 on 50 made field goals, may I add. Which tells me that only 14 of those shots, if my math is correct, which I know it is there, 14 shots were not assists. The other 36 were. It's called not selfish basketball and making that extra pass for a better look. And the Raptors made their looks count. They shot 58% from the field, 38% from 3, 15 of 39. Free throws, they were 86%, 12 of 14. So the shooting was on point. Obviously, when you score 127 points, they flipping better be on point, or else you just took a ton of shots. Rebounding was a little bit of an issue on the offensive glass. Raptors were -9 on the offensive boards. The Charlotte Hornets just mauled the Raptors in that category. But other than that, on the regular rebounds category, 46-41 in favor of the Raptors. The assist total, we were plus 14. The Raptors had 10 steals. 10 to their 7 and 8 blocks. Put those numbers together, people. That is ridiculous. This team has shown the prowess of being a very good interior defensive club with Ibaka, with Danny Green, clearly, and Kawhi Leonard is just an all-around stud. And then the perimeter defense has gotten better with putting JV on the bench, having Ibaka be able to guard the 5, and then Lowry's a grinder, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, you know what you're going to get. And then I think Siakam or whoever you want to throw into that 4 spot. I think was he starting? I think it was Siakam. Yeah, he was starting again today, and he's a stud on the defensive end as well, as we all know. Come on, focus in now. Thank you. But this team, 14 turnovers. If you want to look at that as a problem, that was that. But the Raptors at one point had a 25-point lead, and the Hornets never led in this game. Actually, 25 points was no, it wasn't the final. But this team just really showed the true colors of what they can do against teams who aren't as talented as them. And I just feel so bad for Kemba Walker. This guy is a stud. He's an all-star just about every season, and he's really just getting no help. By the way, Norman Powell's absolute throwdown, the poster on young Miles Bridges, dirty. And is that the outcoming of Norman Powell? He hasn't been bad to start the year. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad. So I got to give that to him. And he's getting some minutes, right? What did he play today? He played 16 minutes, 9 points, 4 boards, 3 of 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, but he did have a steal as well as that nasty poster. I've liked Norman Powell early on, the energy, and that's what you like to see from him. The energy, the defense, that kind of thing is what Norman Powell really is. Any kind of offense he'll give you on the other side is a plus. Now let's go through some things right here. Siakam only had 4 points, 5 boards, couple assists in 20 minutes of work, but he was only shot 4 shots. He was 2 of 4 and 0 of 1 from 3. So you can't really gauge that off of that. And what was he on the floor? He was a plus 16 while he was on the floor. So there you go. Kawhi Leonard, like I said, did not miss a beat. 22 points, 5 boards, 3 dimes, 9 of 14 shooting, 4 of 7 from 3, and a couple steals because he's Kawhi Leonard. And one of the first games I think we've seen from Kawhi that he's been really efficient. You know, he's had a lot of points. Obviously, the 31 game, I think he had 24 in another one or 27 in another one. But his shooting percentage was low in those games. Today, not so much. Doesn't take as many shots because the team is all around doing well. And he still gets 22 and adds the 3 assists there. Serge Ibaka has another good game. Guys, this is his 3rd one in a row. Now, maybe playing him at the 5 is really letting him go loose, right? He had 15 points, 8 boards, and an assist on 7 of 12 shooting. Yeah, he was 0 of 3 from 3. But if he only takes 3 of them and makes 7 of 12 from inside, I'll take that any day of the week. Plus, he was a plus 15 on the floor. And he also had a block, obviously, early in that game. I got to say, as much as if you guys watched the live stream of Game 1, I was not impressed with Ibaka whatsoever. I don't think anybody was. But since then, he's been really good. And Lowry just does his thing, 16 points, 2 boards, 14 assists for Kyle Lowry. And he shoots, what, 5 of 9, so very efficient, 3 of 6 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 2 steals and a block for Kyle Lowry. This guy, and I think he was a plus 20-something, plus 25 on the floor. Look, I don't know if DeMar DeRozan leaving has given Kyle Lowry more of an incentive to push himself, and it's not more of a fun, you know, let's be friends type of game, and let's let my buddy do a lot of the work. But Kyle Lowry is proving a lot of people wrong. First off, a lot of people did not think that he was worth his contract. And I was one of those people. I wasn't sure, really. I mean, we've seen some good Kyle Lowry. We've also seen some really bad Kyle Lowry. And we've seen him with injuries, too. So it's been really hard to tell what you've gotten. But for the first 4 games of the season, I've been really impressed with Kyle and the efficiency, the defense, the being able to take a charge has always been his game. And not only the points and the assists that he's getting, but the efficiency at it. It's insane. It's incredible to watch as Kyle Lowry continues to rip it up. And Danny Green, guys, in the last game against the Wizards, shot, I think it was like 1 of 9 or something. He had a rough game, but he gave you that defensive edge. Today, he did everything. 16 points, 5 boards, 2 dimes, 6 of 8 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3, a steal, and 2 blocks. I don't know what I see flying around over here, guys. I don't know what the heck's going on. I might be spitting because I'm so fired up that the Raptors win another one. But Danny Green, guys, I mean, everyone's talking about Kawhi Leonard and how he came over in this trade. Danny Green has been one of the most impressive guys on the floor on both ends. Now, obviously, he's the veteran out of those 2 guys that came over to the Raptors. Both guys have won championships, and we see why. They took it to a team that you should be. You win by 21. Great job by this team. And look, Lowry only plays 32 minutes. Well, Leonard, 31. And the next person is Danny Green at 26 minutes. They were able to keep some guys down a little bit. JV, guys, off the bench. He had 17 points, 10 boards in 20 minutes of work. Also a couple assists, 7 of 8 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line. Also had 2 blocks. JV, off the bench, could be a giant threat for this team moving forward. Fred VanVleet with 8 points, 4 assists, and of course he crosses some guy out into next week. That was nasty. He shot 4 of 9 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, and he got a steal. And Norman Powell, 9 points, 4 boards, like we said. Miles, 8 points, 3 assists. And then Moose gets his first chance out there as a Raptor. Greg Monroe plays 4 minutes, 2 points, 2 boards, and an assist for Greg Monroe. And a nice little move to get his 2 points there. Started out at the 3-point line, then drives, and the nice little lefty hook. That's what he's good, man. He's good at that. I hope he gets some more minutes moving forward, though. But you know what? This team has just, I think we can all agree on it. They're showing us something different that we did not see last year. Not only can we know this team can score, so we did not lose that scoring edge of DeMar DeRozan because you add a Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green is showing to be something real special. But you're also getting a lot better defense. The interior defense is improved spectacularly. and the efficiency in the way this team is playing. Not just shots, not just defense, but I'm talking, fast break. They just look cleaner out there. And it's still going to take some time for chemistry to continue to build as we go along. But if this is the start of what we're seeing, it's something special. By the way, the Boston Celtics lost today to the Orlando Magic 93-90. Just a little update for you guys. They're next up for the Toronto Raptors, guys. They play on Wednesday as they take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves at Scotiabank Arena, 7:30 tip-off. Quite a few home games for the Raptors to start the season, trying to show that home dominance they had last year. So far, so good. 3-0 at home to start the year. And guys, it doesn't get easier. You play Minnesota, then you play Dallas at home, and then wait for it, in Milwaukee, and then at home for Philly. Some good teams. So the month of October, again, actually, are those last games in October? Yeah. So it's the 29th and 30th are the Milwaukee Philly games. So the month of October, schedule-wise, difficult for the Raptors, but so far, so good. 4-0 on the year, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed another victory by this team. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What'd you guys think of this game? Who's your MVP? I got to give it to Kyle Lowry again. Look, Danny Green was great. JV was great off the bench. Kawhi Leonard was great and efficient again today, but Lowry had 14 assists in the game. Incredible. I want to hear what you guys have to say, though. Who is your player of the game in this one? And Evan and I will talk to you guys next Saturday, podcast edition. A link, or I guess this Saturday, podcast edition. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes, guys. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys. Leafs edition on Wednesday as the Leafs are out in Winnipeg taking on the Jets, as the Bucks look to get back in the win column after these tough few losses here over the last couple games. But they've had some time to practice, to reset, and they got Winnipeg, 7 o'clock, puck drop at the MTS Center in Winnipeg. Anderson and Hellebuck, the expected starters in that game. And as for the Toronto Raptors, guys, like we said, they take on the the Minnesota Timberwolves on Wednesday night at Scotiabank Arena, 7:30 tip-off. Raptors looking to go 5-0 to start the year. Let's keep this train rolling and kind of see how far it goes. It's been a lot of fun so far. Like I said, let's keep it rolling, and we'll talk to you guys then.